Recorded Books and RB Digital present Space Unicorn Blues by T.J. Barrie, narrated by Jonathan Todd Ross. If they found out he was part unicorn, his magical body parts would be portioned off throughout the reason. Best case scenario, they'd take him at his word that he was a faun, and he'd end up playing the flute in some wealthy family's summer home. Gary had learned never to underestimate a human being's capacity for cruelty. He'd been a toddler when the Reason Coalition formed, but his mother had been on the first-generation ship to meet alien life on their way to a new planet. It didn't matter that the alien Bala had familiar shapes known to humans through centuries of myth and legend. Unicorns, fairies, and elves, or that they offered to use their magic to help the colonists survive in their new home. The humans fired the opening shots in what would become 100 years of war between the humans and the Bala. Growing up, Gary watched a ragtag collection of starving humans become a highly efficient colonizing machine. War galvanized them and gave them the will to live. Humans were never more persistent than when they were in the wrong. Chapter 1. The Bitter Blossom. When the murderer, Gary Cobalt, trotted into the Bitter Blossom, he nearly gave himself away as half-unicorn within 30 seconds. His prison-issued pants were hiked up so high that his hooves stuck out the bottom, clopping across the tile, calling all sorts of attention. He'd hoped people would mistake him for a common faun, but the bartender let him know that he wasn't fooled. "Why the long face, son?" asked the barkeep pointedly, holding a glass upside down to catch the liquid flowing out of a bottle of gravitas. He shoved the cork in, set the glass rim down, and slid it to a uniformed Reason officer at the end of the bar. The officer caught the drink and tipped it slightly sideways with a practiced motion. A stream of gravitas rose from the edge of the glass and into his mouth. "Another," said the officer. Heads turned. Gravitas wasn't cheap. Even high-ranking Reason officers didn't carry around enough cash for more than one glass. The bartender obliged and turned his attention back to Gary. "Just released from the quag?" he asked. Gary nodded and tugged his baseball cap low over his forehead. 10 years in prison for murder had taught him the value of lying low. That officer's freshly laundered Reason uniform.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?